Hola. So, many of the things that I've been studying lately have already been validated, but I had to do this video to break down some things. So, the Catholic Church burned down the Library of Alexandria. I know this because all the records that were salvaged were immediately taken by the Romans to the Vatican archives. Alexandria was supposed to be a free school, not an education racket. Middle East had thousands of years of medical records and knowledge that the Catholicism organized religion could profit on. So based on the Assassin's Creed of Hassan Sabbah, that was a real man by the way, they also destroyed Vlad Teppesh, Drakula, during the Ottoman Empire, also why Muslims and Christians are persecuted to this day. Catholicism is a vampire religion. Drink the blood of your Savior, eat his body, with a long lineage of debauchery and pedophilia. That's obvious. Studying Frederick II, modern day telling of his life is John Wick. Fred was excommunicated 4 times before being assassinated by the Catholic Church. Fred was commissioned by the Vatican to destroy tribes and realized he was being used as a tool, much like the Put Caesar. Everything in the Vatican archives was stolen, same way the U.S. military acquired tribal land. Going through UCC law, that's also how they instituted slavery of tribes. Biggest issues in history stem from the Catholic Church because they need a system of surreal duress to start a corporate empire. Now, what do you call a genocidal pedo on a golden throne? You can call him the Pope. Digging through elements of ecclesial law, the Pope has ordered a mass genocide and enslavement of the entire world, also found in papal bulls. Papal bulls translates to Daddy Bull. It's a Luciferian doctrine based on Lucifer's fall to becoming Satan. In the Quran, Shaitan is Satan. Another reason every time there is a conflict in Egypt, every sellout president we have says the same thing. Israel has a right to defend herself. Moving to present day, tables are turning. Freemason lodges are burning down, so are Catholic churches, because they're pedo clubhouses. The United States has a right to defend herself against pedophilia. If you walk into Egyptian tombs, by the way, the Assassin's Creed logo is in there. They were battling what modern day people call vampires. Vampirism, cannibalism, pedophilia, ungodliness. When you watch John Wick, the blood oath is highly emphasized. Christ made a blood oath for all man and womankind. So that blood oath actually fucked up their entire system, which is why they discounted the Book of Enoch as well as the Book of Thomas. They removed it so you didn't know about it. These books predate papal bulls and elements of ecclesial law, laws of conquest and discovery, making them fraudulent. If you ever watch the film Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, you run into Rosicrucianism. Templars guarded the Grail. Rosicrucians followed in the film but were predecessors in reality, so Muslims are technically Rosicrucians. Christ was an Arab with multiple bloodlines and was persecuted for teaching everything in the Library of Alexandria, including biomechanics of the brain, you know as force powers from Star Wars. Jedi is a Middle Eastern word. Al-Kul is too. Very important meanings, just like Bard and Carr. Why is this important? You're entering the realm of the jinn. This is a spiritual warfare manifestation. That's how I know Christ did not turn water into wine. Alcohol, or Al-Kul, kills you. Everything Catholics do is backwards or inverted. Sucks as the same people that persecuted the actual Muslims and the Christians only wanted to help. The divine teachings of Christ can be found in the Book of Thomas. That's where the word Jedi comes from. Springing forth from the Quran, Talmud, Torah. Torah is about Jewish mysticism and the Dhammapada because they were precursors. Where the words ascended master come from. Shriners did not protect the Grail for over 7,000 years. Neither did the Freemasons. That's misrepresentation. Tattoos of the Rose and Cross spring from Rosicrucianism. Tattoos of the wolf spring from Quran and the Book of Thomas. Jerusalem used tattoos for over 3,000 years to represent faith. Catholics hunted these people down by their markings, as did the Nazis. Most assassins these days either don't mark themselves for that reason or go all out in remembrance. What would Jesus do to a vampire? A walking revenant that spreads disease and pestilence. A being that allows demonic entities to plague his people. He would level up and change his body's natural frequency. The use of the brain's biomechanics allows your body to also heal lepers, the broken, the blind, the sick, the afflicted, the lame, the broken. All these things were unheard of in that time. Before Christ, it was Muhammad and others in between. When a vampire dies, the spiritual alchemy is different when a person dies. Spiritual mechanisms are different. The body dies, but the spirit lives on. Christ was not a vampire. He wasn't flying around biting people. Werewolves were meant to balance this equation. The reorganizing in the 1400s commissioned certain beings to look out for the human race. That's why you read books about the King James Bible that, some people don't know about the demonic entities, having to do with the Bible. The Quran has many mentions of jinn. The Talmud and the Torah have many mentions of jinn and diddics. If you go through the King James Bible, you're going to hear a lot about demons and acknowledgement of extraterrestrials. Shayateen are followers of Shaitan, which is Satan in the jinn or jinn language. Jesus means God on high in the jinn language, which is also found in the Torah. If you take a picture of Obi-Wan, what the nice old lady at your church will say is a lot different than what you have in your mind. The reason for this, a lot of the Star Wars films have to do with the brain's biomechanics. When you see Rey or Kylo Ren using remote viewing or telekinesis or psychic abilities they use to heal, many of these things are actually in all the holy texts. For instance, when you do symbols of a cross and you bless your home or body, some hear a frequency change. Achieve that and hear the change in pitch. You have something special going on there. Some hear a ringing in their ears, or they just feel it. Up, down, left, right, dot in the middle. Try that for starters. Then try water. Your body is 80% water, 20% of the earth. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Transference of negative energy is possible. Why wouldn't a thief of joy be? Food for thought. I don't trust people that offer me poison. Back to that alcohol definition. Now, if you look up the definition of a neurotoxin, that's why it's so dangerous. Drink enough of this downer or depressant, wine, beer, liquor, all of it. It's just a neurotoxin. You ever heard of the Nightmare Artist? He was a famous artist, and his videos can actually be found on YouTube. The point is, water is a conduit, and so is alcohol. Alcohol was actually made by priests and monks. That's how a lot of the Egyptian pyramids were built. They paid them in bread and alcohol. And most of those workers actually had a spirit of necrotic flesh going on after that. Have a good day.